What's up, blockchain? This is Nick from Truth Blitz. Hope you guys are having a good one. And we have seen somewhat of a pullback, and we're going to take a look real quick. And I had a feeling this was going to happen. So right now we have a $257 billion overall market cap, with Bitcoin dominance down to 44.5%, and Bitcoin back down to 6,759. As you can see, the market is mostly in the red. We actually have NEO up. But I kind of had a feeling that once we got above 7,100, that maybe we would go back up to like 73 or so, and touch that next resistance area, and then get shot back down. But we didn't even make it up to there. We got, about 7,150 or so on Bittrex anyway. And then I woke up today and saw that we were back down to 67, and I forgot to set my stop losses. That sucks. But not a big deal. Let's take a look at Crypto Blood's chart. You can see right here what happened. On Bitstamp here, we got up to about 7180 or so, and then we got slapped down in about 2 or 3 candles, right back down to 67. So we have been kind of trading along the 6,700, 6,720 area, and will we go lower? I think that, I don't know if this time around we're going to end up going lower, but I do think we are going to end up going down to 59, 6,000, which is this area down here. So something to keep an eye on. Really, I don't have a whole lot to talk about today, but what I do want to talk about is the interview from about a day or so ago on X22 Report that I watched it last night, and it was spectacular. This interview here with Gorilla V, Z, Cowboy, and Frank, and it's about an hour and 40 minutes long. Dave interviewed them. They talked a lot about crypto and about what's going on in the space, and it was an excellent interview, and I really highly suggest you guys check it out. I'm gonna play a couple excerpts from it. Basically, they talk about the fact that V feels that this Mt. Gox sell-off that happened started at the end of the year, was a planned event to get crypto down, because the institutions are looking, they know what's happening with the dollar and with quote-unquote safe investments, and they are looking for places to put their money, and a lot of people are of this theory that that's what's happening. And I've talked about it. Once we really see the next economic crisis, Bitcoin and crypto, the altcoins anyway that survive, because we've seen some get knocked off already, are going to go up exponentially. So I'm going to play a couple excerpts from this, and then I'm going to suggest that you guys really go just listen to this whole show, because it was, like I said, excellent. So I'm gonna play this excerpt here first.
We both said this, and Charles, he writes for his own blog as well as for Zero Hedge. We both said this: there's going to be a flight to safety, okay, and then this is going to coincide with a march up in equities, in commodities, gold, silver, and in cryptocurrencies. Why? Because investors, institutional investors, and sovereigns are going to look for safe harbors. They cannot find those safe harbors in reliable, safe, quote-unquote, investments like the U.S. dollar, like U.S. treasuries. And we said this, Dave, way before any sort of trade war rumors were starting, before any sort of tariffs were announced. We said this, that this was going to happen. But you see, it is happening. It is happening. People, sovereign institutions are looking for a flight to safety. Okay, they're looking for a flight to safety, but they're not going to come into Bitcoin at 20,000. Okay, just like as I said when I detailed this months ago, they're not going to come into an equities market sitting at 25 or 26,000. Okay, and folks, I was saying that the Dow is going to go to 29,000 back when it was 15,000. When everybody's saying it's going to crash tomorrow to 5,000, and never happened. So we're going to have that march. They need to put all this excess funds, which are the dump dollars that are happening with the treasuries market, they need to dump it somewhere. They need to put it somewhere. And that leaves equities, that leaves gold, and I work in the international physical metals market, and I can tell you right now, physical metals on a large scale is being bought up. Last year, in 1 month, my partner and I in Hong Kong, we did 110 metric tons of silver in 1 month. 110 metric tons. So the physical is being dried up. Why? Because even though the prices on paper seem to be beaten down, seem to be low, seem to be, oh my God, panic in the marketplace, even if that's what it seems, the smart investors are moving in. They don't want to come into a cryptocurrency market with a Bitcoin valued at 20,000. No. They like to jump in at 5. They like to jump in at 6. And that's what you're seeing, these massive sell-offs in the crypto markets. They're not going to come into the Dow at 26,000. They're going to come in at the low 20s. They want to come in at 18, 19, and then ride it up. They don't want to come into gold at 17,000 or 15,000. They want to come in at 12. They want to keep it around 13. This is the get-out period for all the weak hands, for all the chickens to fly the coop, to get out of the way, for all the shaky hands speculators to get out. Why? Because the sharks are coming into the bay. The big boys are coming to play, and they're positioning themselves for a massive run. You're going to see this. How do I know you're going to see this? China is embracing cryptocurrencies. They're embracing blockchain technology. Russia's embracing cryptocurrencies. They're embracing blockchain technologies. All these things are happening, and what is seen as by some as some sort of an end-all, oh my God, it's the end of the world, man. Those that are smart seeing this as opportunities. And the guys that we're working with today, Z and Cowboy and Frank, they have done favorably, above and beyond, incredibly well in a down market like this, Dave.
Okay, so that's just one excerpt. I'm going to play a couple more, but again, I'm going to link this show, the episode here, so you guys can check it out for yourself. You know, I know I've been not so optimistic lately with what's been going on in the market. And it's, you know, it's easy for that to happen when you see your portfolio's value decline by, you know, 75% or more. You know, that will do that to you. And again, I don't know where the bottom is, but I really do feel like we are nearing it. I've never once said crypto's dead, and I never thought that. You know, I don't feel like the bubble has popped like some are screaming, especially in the mainstream media and some others. And, you know, I've kind of talked about how, and they talk about this a lot in depth in this show here, you know, preserving your value, your portfolio value by trading. You know, I used to mostly hodl. I do trading with the bot, and then I also do some manual trades as well. I only wish that I had done that a lot more when we were up, you know, at the end of December, beginning of January, because I would have been in a lot better position. And you know, they actually, these guys offer some services, trade calls, and in a room, you know, a members only room where you can watch what they're doing, watch their trades, and replicate them. So the link to that is in the description of the X22 Report episode. But let's check out this next excerpt.
The global economy.
Do you think with the Mt. Gox, because if you look at the graph, you can see that every time they dumped Bitcoin, it brought down the price. You think this was set up maybe by the central banking system to show volatility in the cryptocurrency market? Because the central bank, they continually, demonize cryptocurrency. Oh, terrorists use it, criminals use it, and it's very volatile. You can't be in it. It's very scary. Do you think they actually maybe set this up?
Simple answer is heck to the yes.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'll tell you right now, for anybody that's listening, let me explain something to you guys. Okay, let me explain something to you guys. I work on a global level. I work on seeing money move and seeing what happens on a grand scale here. The number one currency used by drug dealers, by terrorist organizations is not cryptocurrencies, it's the US dollar. That is the number one thing. And number two, if you want to do money laundering, if you want to be a terrorist financier, blockchain is the worst thing you could utilize. It's just not a smart move. You want to be as clandestine as possible. You're going to be Barack Obama with 1.5 billion in cash and Swiss francs flying it over to Iran in duffel bags.
All right, so I just wanted to play that part. Just these guys have the same general viewpoint and consensus that I've been saying about how they feel that we were this whole Mt. Gox thing was set up and done on purpose to drive down price and to kill the market sentiment and to basically flush out the people who probably shouldn't have got in to begin with. I've talked about this with someone in my comment section on one of my videos. I talked about earlier on how I got family members in, and unfortunately, we were a lot higher in price, and I battle that guilt. Man, I got them in, and sold them on blockchain and crypto, and prices have come down. And all I keep telling them is, don't worry, we will go back up. I just can't tell you when. And I can't. But in this episode, they really talk about, and it's really compelling stuff that they talk about how, the big money is going to come into the space, and that is why we are seeing the beatdown in price that we've seen. Because like you said earlier on in the first excerpt, they're not going to come in at 20,000. They're going to beat it down as far as they can and get in there, because that's what smart people do. And you call them sharks, and they are sharks. This is what these people do. So we basically need to ride the waves, basically. We have to play their game. So, it is the way it is, unfortunately. But if we want to prosper, playing their game, we need to play it by their rules, unfortunately. As much as it kills me to say that, as much as, I didn't have the camera on, but the face I just made when I said that, because just the fact that we have to play by their rules to make money, well, they hold most of the chips because they have all the money and can move this market. And this is a relatively small market compared to others. It's actually a very small market. So for these people to move it does not take much. They have well in excess of the amount of money needed to move this market. And that's just the way it is. So I'm going to play one last excerpt, and then I'm going to end this video, but let's take a listen. This is talking a little bit about regulation.
And now the internet's being decentralized. You see, the worst nightmare to these tyrants is happening now. And these laws and regulations, okay, they're going to pass a law, they're going to pass a regulation. V, you have 300,000 Bitcoins. We saw that you put it on Coinbase. Where is it? I moved it into a wallet. Okay, fantastic. Give us our wallet thing. What would you do with it? I have no idea. I lost my wallet. I don't have access to it. Real talk. So we had an expert on my show one time. Frank and I interviewed him. This is a gentleman who has over a quarter century of dealing with the the Internal Revenue Service. I said international because they are a bunch of international criminals. But anyway, the Internal Revenue Service. Quarter century experience dealing with them. Knows their laws in and out. There's not a single regulatory teeth. You see, Germany, as an example, folks, tried to regulate cryptos. You know what happened? Didn't work. They said, yeah, we're not. You see, they're hoping that you're so terrified of the men in black, that you're so scared about the men with guns and the government, that out of fear you willfully report on yourself. That's the regulation right there. Mm-hmm. That is the regulation. Oh, we're gonna regulate any sort of ICO that comes in the United States and want to make it. Okay, fine. You know how many ICOs are around the world right now, and those creative individuals have workaround? There's a workaround for everything, folks. You just gotta learn it. You just have to learn it. You see, these regulations at the end of the day, like look at Russia. We're gonna control this. We're gonna tax this. And then the Russians realize, oh yeah, we can't stop this. We can't collect a single penny on this stuff. It's damn near impossible. The Japanese have learned this. The Chinese have learned this. And they are much more far ahead in blockchain and crypto adoption than anybody else. I have a buddy of mine who is one of the core developers of Bitcoin.
Okay, so that right there, and they go into talking about taxes a little more in depth. Folks, unless you convert your crypto into fiat on an exchange that reports to the government, they really can't track you. They really can't this, like he said, what they are doing is trying to instill fear in us so that we report on ourselves, so that we tell on ourselves. That is what they're doing. They know full and well that they can't, I've even reported on some of these articles where they talk about how they have the technology that, they can link wallets to people and so on and so forth. And I believe that is all scare tactics to get us to report on ourselves so that we have to pay. Because, like you said in the first excerpt, all you have to do, or the second excerpt, I'm sorry, oh, well, even if they find out, you have X amount of whatever. Well, I lost the key to the wallet. I don't have it anymore. So, and I am not, and let me make this very clear, I am not suggesting that anybody cheat the government out of their money. Okay? Don't do it. It's very bad. However, I'm just telling it like it is. This is what this is. This is scare tactics. To get us to willfully report on ourselves and pay the government. But again, they go into in depth talking about taxes and a lot of the how a lot of these tax experts probably without even realizing it, you know, are really kind of giving misinfo about the tax situation. I don't know. It's just I can't say how good this episode was. So I really suggest you guys check it out. I would love to get V on the channel. I really would. He's just you know, this whole episode offered a lot of insight, and you know, it kind of helped to boost my optimism a little bit more, you know, with everything that's going on and prices getting beat down. It really kind of boosted my confidence level a little bit more. So, well needed, let's put it that way. With, you know, all of the quote unquote, you know, FUD that's going on. And they even talk about how, you know, we're getting to the point now, you know, talking about the bans, the you know, Facebook ban, Google ban, Twitter ban, and now I guess supposedly there's rumors of Instagram doing the same thing. You know, it's going to get to the point, and we're coming up on this, that it's not going to matter. They're running out of things they're running out of FUD to manufacture. They really are. They're running out of things to blame the price decrease on. And once that happens, you know, in my opinion, we have nowhere to go but up. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen, you know, next month or next year or whatever, you know, but I do feel we are going to go up. You know, like I said, I just don't know when. And I don't know if we're going to see our previous highs this year. I'm kind of leaning toward no, but I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But we will see those again. And yeah, I don't know, guys. So I'm going to link this in the description. Please check it out. A really, really awesome interview. And check me out on Twitter at TruthBlitzMedia. Check me out at truthblitz.com. And I'll see you guys later.